In 1956, Vincent provided narration for the colorful costume epic and musical The Vagabond King, starring Katherine Grayson and Orestes Kirkham. Though Price doesn't appear on screen and only offers brief narration at the beginning of the film, the movie is still notable as his wife, Mary Grant, served as costume designer, thus making this the second film in which the two would work together, the first being Up in Central Park in 1948, where they met. Vincent's next big screen appearance teamed him with legendary director Cecil B. DeMille in the 1956 religious epic, The Ten Commandments. Ramses I, Pharaoh of Egypt, learns of a prophecy that a newly born Hebrew boy will grow up to one day deliver the Hebrew slaves out of bondage. Ramses orders the death of every newborn Hebrew male child. In order to keep him safe, Moses' mother Yoshebel sets him adrift down the Nile River in a tiny basket made of reeds. He floats safely down the river and is found by the Pharaoh's daughter Bithiah, played by Nina Folk, whose husband had recently been slain in battle. She raises the baby as her own son, despite realizing he is the offspring of a Hebrew slave. Years later, Moses has grown to adulthood. Bithiah's brother Sethi, played by Sir Cedric Hardwicke, is now Pharaoh. His own son, Ramses II, played by Yul Brynner, is ambitious and anxious to gain the crown, and the beautiful Nefertiti, played by Anne Baxter. But Sethi warns him that he will give both the crown and the hand of Nefertiti to whomever he deems worthy.
Indeed. Whoever I choose shall have my crown and Nefertiti.
Moses has become a court favorite and the favorite of the people by conquering Ethiopia. The Pharaoh sends him to complete the building of the city of Goshen in his honor, a task that Ramses was unable to complete. Vincent Price plays Baka, the master builder of the city. While there, Moses sees firsthand the inhumane conditions of the slaves. He orders the stores of grain opened and the slaves fed and given a day off work, which angers Ramses but causes the city to be completed in record time. While there, Moses also learns the true secret of his origin and gives up his royal heritage, joining his slave brothers working in the mud pits. One day, Baka takes a slave girl named Lilia back to his quarters to become his house slave so he can have his way with her. Another slave named Joshua, played by John Derrick, who is in love with Lilia, sneaks into Baka's quarters to free her, setting fire to a stable. Baka's men capture and tie up Joshua, and Baka begins whipping him when Moses arrives and chokes him to death with a whip.
Death will bring death, Baka. Who are you? One who asks what right you have to kill a slave.
The right of a master to kill you or any slave.
Kill me, Master Butcher.
Moses!
In anger, Sethi makes Ramses the Pharaoh, thus setting up an epic conflict between Ramses and Moses, who sets out to free the Hebrew slaves and in the process receives the titular Ten Commandments passed down by God. Filmed on location in a number of Middle Eastern locations, including Egypt, Cairo, and Mount Sinai, The Ten Commandments was a veritable who's who of Hollywood. It was directed by Cecil B. DeMille for Paramount Pictures and was a hugely successful film that became a regular staple on television for years, running annually at Easter. Director Cecil B. DeMille suffered a heart attack during the filming of this movie due to extreme heat and shooting conditions. This would be the last film he would direct, and he would pass away 3 years later in 1959. The Ten Commandments was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects by John P. Fulton. It is a truly epic film with a cast of thousands and a runtime of over 3.5 hours. This was Price's third appearance with actor John Carradine, with whom he had worked previously in Brigham Young and Casanova's Big Night. Anne Baxter, who plays Nefertiti in this film, would go on to appear with Price in the classic TV series Batman a decade later as Price's character Egghead's wife, Olga, Queen of the Cossacks. Interestingly, Price would appear with Charlton Heston twice in 1956, the other appearance being a made-for-TV movie, an episode of the TV series Playhouse 90 entitled Forbidden Area. After the Ten Commandments, Vincent would appear next in the 1957 historical drama The Story of Mankind.
Let them look upon what you thought unworthy.
Melissa, would you accept anything less than the taste of fresh, cold milk? Of course not. Or would you settle for butter or cheese that wasn't made from fresh, wholesome milk? Never. So, of course, we always look for the real seal or check the ingredients. That's how we know milk or any dairy food is real. Right, Melissa?
Right.
We're so clever.
We are.
You know it's real when you see the real seal.